In early 2026, tech companies laid off over 100,000 workers. In almost half of those cases, executives explicitly cited AI as the driver. Block's CEO Jack Dorsey cut half of his 10,000-person workforce, stating that AI had made those specific roles unnecessary. Yet a paradox is emerging behind the headlines. Many of these same companies are now posting job listings to rehire for the exact positions they just eliminated. It is an industry-wide trend known as the AI boomerang. The reversal stems from a practical limitation. While modern AI models can generate impressive outputs, they cannot reliably operate without human oversight. The technology lacks the current capability to execute complex, multi-step workflows entirely on its own. The industry's promise of a frictionless transition to fully automated systems has proven to be a mirage. Implementing AI at scale introduces massive, unexpected integration costs that require human-in-the-loop intervention to manage. This backtracking creates immediate legal liability. When a company lays off workers citing technological redundancy, then rehires for the same roles months later, it invites lawsuits over Warnock violations and claims of pretextual firing. Beyond the courtroom, there is structural damage to the firm's skill supply chain. Eliminating junior roles to save money today severs the development pipeline that produces the senior engineers and managers the company will need tomorrow. These compliance headaches and pipeline failures represent the immediate fallout of a deeper miscalculation regarding the value of human labor. These micro-frictions are the first indicators of a mathematically predictable macroeconomic trap waiting for these firms. Historically, technological displacement was self-correcting. During the Industrial Revolution, machines replaced specific manual tasks, but the resulting economic growth created new occupations that eventually reabsorbed the displaced workforce. But John Maynard Keynes identified a danger in the transition period. If technology displaces human labor significantly faster than the economy can create new roles, the system loses its equilibrium. Displaced workers are the consumers that comprise the market's aggregate spending power. When wages vanish faster than they are replaced, total market demand drains away. We can prove mathematically why rational, perfectly cited firms will knowingly automate themselves into lower profits, and why standard policy interventions cannot stop them. To understand the trap, we start with a single firm's internal ledger. The company must decide what fraction of its workforce to replace with AI. We represent this as a cost function. Moving a task to an AI agent yields a direct labor cost saving, called S, but automating complex tasks brings accelerating integration costs, K, tracking the supply chain degradation and oversight costs. If a firm only looks at its internal supply ledger, it will rationally automate until the integration friction, K, exactly offsets the labor savings, S. That internal view is incomplete. Workers have a significantly higher marginal propensity to consume than shareholders do, meaning their income is the primary driver of market demand. When a firm replaces a worker, that lost wage becomes lost market demand, offset only by ETA, the income replaced by transfers or new jobs. Combining these factors gives us L, the effective demand loss to the entire sector per automated task. Every layoff a firm executes to save money internally shrinks the total revenue pool available to all firms by a factor of L. To find the firm's true marginal profit, we must connect the supply-side savings S with that demand-side loss L. Total market demand is shared across N competing firms. Because that pool is collective, the automating firm only absorbs a fraction of the demand loss. It captures all labor savings, but externalizes the vast majority of the damage onto rivals. This creates a dominant strategy. Competition traps firms in a race to destroy their own market, and even perfect foresight of the coming demand drop cannot change the individual incentive to automate. Visualized on a factor payoff frontier graph, owner surplus sits on the y-axis against worker income on the x-axis. Cooperating to maximize profit hits the cooperative optimum. Instead, the competitive Nash equilibrium forces the curve southwest. Both groups lose money, creating deadweight loss. Increasing AI productivity only accelerates this damage. If AI increases output per task, firms automate even faster to capture market share. But since all rivals do the same, the gains cancel out, leaving only the deeper distortion. Competitive over-automation is a pure deadweight loss, where both workers and firm owners end up strictly worse off than if they had collectively restrained. Much of the industry consensus assumes that universal basic income, or capital income taxes, will safeguard the economy from the AI trap. UBI and capital taxes intervene on overall profit levels, not the marginal decision to automate. Because these policies are unconditional, they cancel out when the firm calculates replacing a worker. Both variables completely vanish from the final marginal profit equation. These policies cushion the fall, but they do nothing to alter the corporate incentive causing the displacement. Correcting the market failure requires an intervention that directly targets the uninternalized demand leakage at the per-task margin. The only mechanism that aligns these incentives is a Pigouvian automation tax, TAU. By setting this tax equal to the uninternalized demand loss, the external damage is forced back onto the individual firm's ledger. This creates a dynamic policy loop. Funding retraining increases the reabsorption rate, ADA, of displaced workers. As this reabsorption increases, aggregate demand loss shrinks. Because the tax is pegged to that loss, the intervention naturally trends towards zero. To survive the AI transition, policy must not just treat the aftermath of displaced workers, but mathematically neutralize the competitive incentives driving the trap in the first place.